People in this world wake up and kneel first. Whether they are newborn babies or powerful tycoons ruling a region, they all kneel just to survive. Because Xianming entered the God-chosen land, everyone was bound to a temple. Only worship could bring divine shelter, but not every temple had a god. Only those chosen by the gods would find a divine statue inside. The rest had only bare lumps of clay, and I was one abandoned by the gods. So to stay alive, a bold idea rose in my mind. Why not worship myself instead, if no god accepts my vow? Then I worship myself. I call upon the god Jin Tiao. Then the clay suddenly twisted into my face, and I gained the statue view. But just as joy hit me, my godly identity was pulled into a so-called god management chat. The gods inside were chatting non-stop, and what surprised me most was that their talk could help me greatly. Danger would arrive in 1 hour. Incense mattered greatly at night, so before night fell, I had to go out and find incense. But once I stepped outside the gate, the sight sent cold sweat down my back. Thick fog covered everything, and a huge beast guarded the door. Luckily the monster could not move yet, so I slipped around it and left the temple. But for some reason, I stopped after only a short walk. In my panic I had forgotten my cheat. Searching blindly would get me nowhere. Better to check the chat first, and see if there was any intel. Mortals truly fear death. Some useless ones still have not gone out. They will behave once they meet the Night Fiend. But this priest named Jin Tiao is decent. He still went out with a Night Fiend at his door. But no one is near this unlucky guy. 600 meters ahead of him, there is an empty shrine. I wonder if he dares keep walking forward. Then, I was thrilled but did not move right away. Instead I looked around, darted here and there, then pretended to pick a direction. To fool the gods about me seeing their chat, I had to put on an act. Minutes later I reached the empty temple and kicked the gate open. But after searching for over 10 minutes, I only found some wood, instant noodles and a dagger, plus a headless corpse on the ground. Not even half a stick of incense. With no other choice, I checked the god chat again. Jin Tiao would never guess. The incense is hidden in that corpse's stomach. That is way too cruel. What believer could find that? Not all incense is hidden like this. This is mainly to train these believers. The more insane their minds become, the more devout they are to us. My face went dark. Damn, these are all evil gods. So in order to survive, I pretended I still could not find the incense. Furious, then grabbed my dagger and vented on the corpse, finally finding the hidden incense. But just as I was about to leave, one message in the chat shook me. What a shame. If only he noticed the patch of soft soil under the corpse. I wanted to step back, but that would look too obvious, so I came up with an idea. I stepped and slid back and crashed onto the corpse, then got up and cursed at it, finally kicking it in rage. And there I saw the patch of soil with a different color. I quickly dug it open and found an oil lamp. Information surged into my mind. Divine item chanting lamp. Place it beside the incense burner to double the incense offered to the god, and the worship points earned by the believer would also double. Usable 5 times. Then I put it in my bag and planned to leave. But outside I met one man and 2 women. I wanted to ignore them and walk past, but the muscular man suddenly reached out and placed his hand on my shoulder. Brother, we got lost searching for supplies. Can you take us to your temple? Resources were already rare now. I did not want to waste them fighting, but I also refused to lead them home. As I wondered how to shake them off, I suddenly thought of the Night Fiend at my gate and smiled to myself. Brother, I can take you there, but you cannot stay for free. Ha 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 ha. As long as you lead us there. These 2 girls are yours to handle. I put on a greedy grin. Brother, is that true? I pulled the 2 women close. Only a fool rejects free bait. Then I walked ahead without looking back. Dahu behind me was already furious. Damn little punk. When we arrive, I will make you regret being born. But he had no idea was that I was also plotting against him. The sky was growing darker. I estimated night would fall in about 10 minutes, but I was in no hurry. I even walked on purpose slowly until we were about 100 meters away, and night was almost here. I shoved the 2 women toward Dahu, then sprinted as fast as I ever had, straight inside. By the time Dahu reacted, I had already locked the gate. He slammed the door like mad. The wooden door showed -1 damage, and durability dropped from 30 to 25. A few more hits, and the door would break. But I ignored it and lit 3 sticks of incense, then placed the chanting lamp beside them. Before I could kneel, a scream rang out outside. "You brat, I will not spare you even as a ghost." Then the temple door was attacked wildly. Its durability fell fast. Lee knelt and worshipped with devotion. Congratulations, gained 60 incense power. Congratulations, gained 60 worship points. Finally, when the door had 10 durability left, the noise outside went silent. I let out a heavy breath and slumped down, unaware a greater crisis was waiting. And in this world, everything could be upgraded. So I walked to the battered wooden door. Upgrade wooden door. Right after that, 1 gene of the wood I brought back was deducted, and 20 points. The door successfully rose to level 2, and durability increased to 50. But when I tried to keep upgrading, an error sounded. Missing level 3 door blueprint, 600 grams of fine iron and 100 incense. So I had to give up and turn to the incense burner. Right now it could only hold 3 sticks. If I wanted to place more incense and gain more worship points and incense power, I had to upgrade it. So I chose the incense burner. But another error sounded after the upgrade. Missing 500 grams of blood-colored soil. With man-eating night ghosts outside, I did not dare go out for supplies. So I gave up and waited for dawn. Bored, I opened the Believer chat panel and discovered something new. In the Believer chat, people could actually send supplies. And what surprised me even more, the Night Fiends moved slower than expected. I met one so quickly, only because it was already at my door. But the others had not met one yet. The chat was still full of laughter. They still thought this was a survival show. I did not bother warning them. I posted a trade saying I have noodles. Who has incense or blood soil to trade? Haha, is this guy brain fried? Trading noodles for useless junk in a survival show. No trade, no trade. Private chat me brother. Soon I traded for incense and blood soil, but just as I prepared to upgrade, I remembered the statue had a skill. 3 incense power could make 1 meal. So I waved my hand at once and turned all 60 incense power into food, then traded wildly in the chat. In the end, I got a level 3 door blueprint and a level 1 peachwood sword blueprint, 7 planks lightning wood and an iron window, plus 24 sticks of incense. But I never expected this move would almost get me killed. In the god chat, a god had noticed something strange about me. This Jin Tiao is too clever. He not only guessed the use of incense, he even used a large amount of food to trade for almost all supplies. Is this guy cheating? Hearing that, my heart clenched. Damn, I got carried away and forgot those freaks. I stared nervously at the god chat, afraid to miss even one message, until one god said this had happened before. Some god must be backing him, lending incense power to invest in potential. After they all dropped their doubts, I finally relaxed. Greed really is terrifying. Next time I cannot trade so openly for supplies again. I have to make it look reasonable and never let those freak gods notice anything. But before I could fully relax, the Believer chat exploded. There are more and more monsters. Someone got dragged away. His head was eaten off. No wonder the statue kept asking for incense. It was not trying to harm me. It was warning me. But I traded incense for noodles. Then countless people started tagging me, calling me a bastard with bad intentions. Damn it. I dared not breathe in the god chat. So I might as well vent on you. When I used food to trade with you, why did you eat it so happily? The statue already hinted incense was useful. You have no brains and blame me. Shake your brain juice before talking to me. After venting, I closed the chat and carried a bucket of blood soil to the burner, successfully upgrading it to level 2. Its capacity also rose to 6 sticks. I immediately filled the burner with incense, with the chanting lamp boosting it. I gained 120 incense power and worship points as I took out the level 3 blueprint and prepared to upgrade the wooden door. Scratching sounded outside again, with waves of hoarse roars. You said, even as a ghost I would never let you go. My heart sank. Dahu. Was Dahu not killed by the Night Fiend? Why did he appear again? What exactly happened? Dahu, who had been killed by the monster, appeared outside the door again, and his attack power was even stronger. Luckily, I had upgraded the door once. No matter how he attacked, the wooden door durability did not drop at all. I planned to ignore him, but a message in the god chat made me change my mind. Look, this believer died with deep resentment. He became a grudge ghost. This kid is in trouble. It is fine for now, but with enough time, this vengeful ghost will gain wall phasing. Killing Jin Tiao will be easy. Only a peachwood sword can kill it. And once slain, it drops ghost essence. Wow, this is basically free treasure. Seeing that, I took out the peachwood sword blueprint and crafted a level 1 peachwood sword, then opened the door with an angry face. But Dahu froze on the spot. Wait bro. Why did you open the door? This plot feels wrong. I only needed a few more hours to awaken my talent, but he reacted quickly. Since you came out, do not blame me. He rushed at me right away, not noticing the peachwood sword in my hand. He thought I would panic and flee. But I suddenly smiled. Before he could react, I chopped down with one clean strike, cutting off half his head. Flames burned along the wound, and his body turned almost transparent. Seeing the sword worked so well, I pressed forward and slashed again. Finally, Dahu vanished from the world, leaving a crystal behind. I quickly picked it up, and information rushed into my mind. Vengeful ghost slain, ghost essence dropped. The idol can absorb it to raise divine soul. My god avatar only had 10 divine soul. I could feel how fragile it was. If something hit it by accident, it might scatter on the spot. So I took the essence back to upgrade it, while dragging Dahu's headless corpse too. Because the god chat had said, corpses were useful to gods. But as I headed back, I noticed something strange. I had been focused on Dahu and only now realized that unlike daytime fog, the night was actually clear. But I had no time to think. A night fiend could appear anytime, so I hurried back to the shrine. But the moment I shut the door, a rumbling sound came out. I followed the sound and was shocked to find it was my idol growling from hunger. So I switched to god vision and was amazed. The ghost essence and corpse were giving off a strange scent, and my idol desperately wanted to eat them. So I quickly placed Dahu's corpse and the essence on the altar. Then they turned into golden mist and were devoured by my god avatar. Right after, I clearly felt my god avatar grow stronger. Divine soul rose to 20, and I gained physique boost. It could consume 10 incense power to strengthen a believer. Seeing this, I waved my hand, kept only 10 incense power, and spent the rest on my body. Instantly, my physique rose from 7 to 18. At the same time, the idol sent me another prompt. Physique has improved. Believer, please raise your level quickly. A basic believer's incense can provide at most 10 incense power. An intermediate believer can reach 15. More incense meant more rewards for me. So I had to raise my level fast. But besides the 10 experience points from killing the ghost, I had no idea how to gain more. So I opened the chat again to see if there was useful information. But I found someone named Long Out Yen showing off. Those monsters are not scary. I found a broken peachwood sword and wounded one. It ran from me. I will keep searching for survivors and help everyone fight back. Unlike someone who scams supplies. Long Bro forever. Long Bro is our savior. Long Bro is awesome. Humanity forever. I did not care about his mockery, but I noticed he could wound a night fiend. Thinking back to the clear night outside, I seemed to discover a secret. Maybe going out at night for supplies was the proper way to play this world. Killing ghosts gave experience, then killing night fiends should give more. Even that fool could hurt one. And my physique has risen greatly. I can surely cut one down, so I grabbed my peachwood sword and left, and confirmed my guess in the god chat. Look, that Jin Tiao went out too. As expected from an invested prospect, he is bold, night is risky, but full of chances. When we choose quality believers, we only pick the brave ones. The timid can just be eliminated. Night fiends grow stronger each night. Today is the best chance to kill one, and the main god prepared a first kill reward. Sure enough, big risks mean big rewards. This first kill prize will be mine. So I chose to go out. But not long after leaving, the crack of a breaking tree trunk split the quiet night. Then, a towering figure lunged at me. I raised my sword to block. The force made my palm go numb. But inside I was thrilled. I had blocked its full-powered ambush, which meant this night fiend was not as terrifying as I thought. So I quickly pulled back. Beast, today I will end you. When the final strike landed, the night fiend became black mist, and 3 mysterious light orbs appeared. Congratulations on the first kill reward. Demon slaying blade art and 3 slave talismans, plus 1 storage ring. Touch the blade art to learn it instantly. A slave talisman can turn one basic believer into my slave. But they must agree willingly. Perfect. I can gain followers to guard my shrine. And the third item was even greater. Divine item. Storage ring. Within 20 square meters. Its inner space stays frozen. But it can only enter the shrine twice. I had worried about theft before. But with this storage ring, that problem was solved. Then I immediately returned to the shrine, stored all supplies inside the ring, then went back out again to explore and level up. 10 minutes later, I saw a ruined shrine, but as soon as I kicked the door, a Night Fiend pounced at me. With the demon-slaying blade art, I cut it down with ease. One Night Fiend gave 50 experience, and after this kill, I reached intermediate believer. But to my surprise, after killing this Night Fiend, black mist appeared again, but this time only 2 orbs dropped. Gain 10 gold bricks, key materials to upgrade the shrine. Congratulations, level 2 weapon. Paralyzing needle, hit a target to slow its movements tenfold. Looking at the loot, I was beyond excited, so monsters always drop supplies. The first kill reward only made the loot richer. Amazing, this is amazing. Night Fiend babies, I am coming for you. Soon I found another shrine gate, but when I kicked it again, the wooden door did not shatter. Instead, a number appeared. I knew a believer inside was still alive, so I turned to leave. There was not even firelight. Surely a poor ghost, not worth searching at all. But after only a few steps, I heard the door open behind me. I instantly grew alert and saw a beautiful girl with long blue hair. Hello, big brother. My name is Zhang Peipei. I am from Lipu First High. Can you give me 1 incense stick? Hearing this, I stayed cautious, because Zhang Wuji's mother once said, the prettier a woman is, the more dangerous. But when she saw me do nothing, she actually knelt down, and even placed a hand near her collar. Big brother, as long as you give me incense, I will do anything. For a moment I hesitated, not because I desired her beauty, but because of those slave talismans my god avatar currently had. Only me as a believer. Even if I became intermediate, I could not match gods with many believers. Zhang Peipei could offer incense to me, and the slave talisman keeps her loyal. Fine, I can give you 1 incense stick. But first smash your shrine's idol. Zhang Peipei panicked. She knew without an idol, even incense could not save her. And the reason I did this was to cut off every escape route. I will be honest, I have slave talismans. They can make you my slave. You only have 2 choices now. Destroy the idol and become my slave, or keep your dignity and wait to die. I will give you 1 minute. When time is up, I leave, and I will break your door too, so you die faster. Zhang Peipei clenched her fists. She knew this was a threat, a naked threat, but thinking of her brother waiting at home, she quickly made her decision. Big brother, can I survive as your slave? Of course. You will not only survive, you will live better than others. Zhang Peipei said nothing and turned back into the shrine. Then the sound of cracking stone rang out. When she returned, she knelt before me. Brother, please accept me as your slave. After that, for some time, we kept looting the remaining shrine supplies. I handled killing, she handled searching, but as we moved on, a group of unwanted guests came ahead. Their leader was a handsome, pretty boy, holding a broken peachwood sword. I pulled Zhang Peipei and turned away, not wanting to bother with them. But unexpectedly, the pretty boy suddenly called out to stop me. I heard him, but walked faster, until he shouted that he had monster intel. Only then did I stop. Fine, let me hear what intel this guy has. Say it, what do you know? Hey, why so cold? Let me introduce myself first. Hello brother. My name is Long Outyen. As he spoke, a confident smile hung on his lips, as if I would submit right away. But unexpectedly, I only said calmly, speak. What information do you have? Bro, are you serious? I am Long Outyen. So what, who cares? If you have no intel, I am leaving. Wait, do not go. At least show me some respect. Tell me your name too. My name is Jin Tiao. What, he said it. Did you all hear that? It is him, remember him. It is this bastard. You nearly got me killed. Give my incense back. I thought Long Outyen would mock me too. But he suddenly roared, shut up. The idols warned you so many times. You traded your own supplies, who can you blame? Anyone who keeps whining can get out of my team. The noisy crowd went silent at once. Then he walked up to me and handed me a lollipop. Brother Jin Tiao, do not mind them. My people are just ignorant. Here, have a lollipop and cool down. I quickly waved it away, but he said one lollipop could raise physique by one, so I took it and put it in my mouth. You have one lollipop's time to explain your situation. I thought he had useful information, but instead, he only said he killed one Night Fiend and received a reward. This place was like leveling by killing, but for me, who had killed two already, that was pure nonsense. And right then, Long Outyen finally revealed his goal. Give me all your gear. Then follow me. I guarantee you survive all 4 nights here. But he did not expect me to ignore his face. Done talking, then get lost. The air instantly turned tense. But just as Long Outyen moved to attack, a scream suddenly came from the crowd. A Night Fiend rushed into them. So Long Outyen had to protect them first. After all, his fame came from strength. He could not run right now. Seeing the chaos, I took Zhang Peipei and slipped away, then hid under a tree to watch. Once Long Outyen had fought enough, I would strike and take the loot. But just as that Night Fiend was nearly dead, and I was ready to steal the kill, something unexpected happened in the crowd. Another Night Fiend appeared among them. Long Outyen quickly fell into trouble. He knew if 2 Night Fiends surrounded them, not only would his followers die, even he might die on the spot. Fall back. Everyone run into the woods, save whoever can escape. But when he tried to flee, his eyes happened to meet mine. Damn you! I am fighting at the front, while you watch from behind. Since that is how it is, I will give you a big gift. Long Outyen, who was about to run, suddenly charged toward me. The thick scent of blood on him made the fiends chase right behind him, but when he was almost in front of me, his figure vanished in a blink. Damn, he dumped the danger on me. The 2 Night Fiends lost their target and instantly locked onto me, while Long Outyen reappeared, already behind the Night Fiends. Good thing my prayer beads can turn me invisible. He had used the beads' power just now to disappear right before me. However, he never imagined this was exactly what I wanted. Free experience babies, how could I refuse? As I spoke, I pushed off hard, used my movement skill and reached their backs, then chopped down the wounded Night Fiend before the other could react. I swung again and cut off one of its arms. The Night Fiend instantly howled in pain, but the sound carried a rhythm, as if calling companions. I noticed it, but did not stop him. Only after it finished roaring did I cut it down. Once nearby Night Fiends gather here, I can wipe them all out. Sure enough, while I picked up the 2 fiends' loot, 3 huge figures burst from the woods, but with the paralyzing blade, each slash I made instantly slowed them with paralysis. Then as blade light flashed again, only black mist remained, and loot covered the ground. But right after I collected everything, fog began rising in the forest. Even the blood moon grew brighter. I knew dawn was coming, but since night began, only 3 or 4 hours had passed. It should not have ended so soon, but the fog gave me no time to think. In just a blink, visibility fell below 100 meters, so I rushed Zhang Peipei back to the shrine. But my shrine idol looked exactly like me. Zhang Peipei would surely get suspicious. The whole way, I thought of an explanation, but after we returned, her reaction shocked me. Master, your idol looks so strange. It has no face. I turned in surprise, but still saw my own handsome face. Could it be? Only I can see my idol's true form. Ha, this is Lord Yuancher. He controls time and fate. Of course you cannot see his face clearly. Wow, he is that powerful. Of course. So hurry and worship him. Lord Yuancher will grant you power. As I said that, I handed Zhang Peipei 3 incense sticks. She obeyed, placed them in the burner, and kowtowed 3 times to the idol. From the god's vision, I watched her kneel before me and felt a rush of pride. So being a god feels this amazing. After upgrading the burner to level 3, I filled it with 7 incense sticks. With the chanting lamps boost, my god avatar gained 300 incense power, and my offering points reached 400. Without any hesitation, I directly used my god avatar's ability to boost physique. Golden light burst out, and Zhang Peipei and I bathed in the physique reward. I treated it like nothing special, but for Zhang Peipei's first boost, it was different. Master, is this the power lord Yuanshi grants? All my fatigue is gone, yes. The golden light lasts 3 minutes. It restores your body's condition, and also raises your physique. Hearing this, Zhang Peipei was stunned. Maybe becoming his slave was not bad. But even greater shock was coming. 3 minutes later, as the light faded, it lit up again. Master, this calmness. Another 3 minutes later, the fading golden light appeared again. The setup was perfect. She was too shocked to speak, while I stayed calm. Like that, the golden light kept shining until it finally stopped an hour later. Zhang Peipei was numb with shock. Her physique had risen by a full 100. But now I was confused, because while physique increased, I could clearly feel my strength growing. But when it broke past 100, something seemed to open inside me. After that, no matter how it rose, I felt no more strength increase, so I stopped spending incense power. Only when I checked my status panel did I discover a bracket had appeared after physique. Mutated body, stage 1. Could it be that after physique reaches 100? A new power system opens. While thinking, I opened the God chat, only to find a greater crisis waiting for me. Who set the first night difficulty this low? Only 200 people were eliminated. The higher-ups are getting bored. The difficulty is fine. Mainly, a few believers are excellent, so the casualties dropped. Especially that Jin Tiao. He killed several Night Fiends. There is still over 1 double hour until Night 2, so add more Night Fiends. And give Jin Tiao special attention. Damn. You scum better wait for me. One day I will make you kneel and worship me. But anger aside, I could not just wait to die. I first upgraded the door to level 3, then spent many supplies and offering points to raise the shrine to level 2. Finally, I put on armor, ate another lollipop, grabbed the paralyzing blade and opened the gate. Peipei, stay inside. Be ready to help me anytime. Since I got special attention, then let us fight. With that, I stepped out, ready to face the coming battle. Soon, the fog cleared and the blood moon rose. Everything became visible. One massive black shadow after another entered my sight. They charged at me from all directions. Others might have pissed themselves, but with my greatly boosted physique, I actually felt excited. In an instant, I rushed out and met a little cutie. But soon something surprised me. After killing this Night Fiend, the mist was no longer black, but a pale green. Yet I had no time to think, and kept charging through the fight. 20 minutes later, outside the shrine gate, only pale green mist remained. With countless resources on the ground, I knelt on one knee, breathing heavily, and finally relaxed. But the god chat exploded. Damn, when did he train body refinement? Which god does he worship? That god must have paid a huge price. But because this world had rules, no god could view another god's shrine. So no matter how they guessed, as long as I denied it, no one could trace it to me. In the end, they only thought I was gifted and blessed for being devoted to my god. As for their chatter, I paid no attention now, because I found the green mist dropped by tonight's fiends gave rewards far richer than the black mist before. Not only were there many basic supplies, even the beheading saber materials only lacked 3 portions of true fire. What thrilled me more was getting 2 cultivation manuals, one called Basic Life Burning Method, and one low-level saber manual called Beheading Outline. But the method had huge side effects. It burned blood and lifespan for battle power. Yet I did not hesitate and absorbed it directly, because this chosen land had 4 knights. And Night 2's fiends were already this strong. Who knew what came later? so I had to get stronger. After resting briefly, I set out again to search for resources, but I never expected that late-night trip nearly cost my life. I stumbled into a strange forest. There was no sound inside, not even birds or insects, only the leaves I brushed aside, and even more terrifying. The deeper I went, the darker it became. Barely see anything. But when I tried to go back, I had already lost direction, so I switched to God Vision and checked the God chat to see if there was any way out. But I found every god was watching me. This kid stumbled into a secret realm. He is only 4 or 5 meters from the entrance. Interesting. This is the Blood Moon trial. No believer has cleared it in 10 years. Jin Tiao is in trouble now. When a believer's strength once became too dominant, these trials appeared. To deal with people like that, deal with me, God friend. You cannot be unaware of the clear reward. That is a huge prize. Ha ha. Do you think this newcomer can clear it? Why not? This is the Blood Moon realm. No one cleared it in 10 years. I think he dies today. Nonsense, I think he can clear it. I never expected the gods to argue over me, but I was stuck in a dilemma. If I did not enter, I would miss a chance and might never get one like it again. But if I entered, I might die. Just as I hesitated, something big happened in the god chat. The quiet group owner appeared. Everyone, stop arguing. Why not open a betting pool? And the upper gods will not know, so bet as much as you like. The whole chat went silent. After all, the owner was a level 3 god, while they were only level 1. But what shocked me was even level 3 gods respected the upper gods. How terrifying must they be? But before I could think, a betting window appeared in the chat. Fellow gods, you may place your bets. Soon the gods started betting. Death reached 1350 incense power, while survival only had 50. And right then, one god suddenly noticed something. Why has one god friend not bet? Yuancher, hurry and place your bet. Do not tell me all your believers died. And you have no incense power. Now I was the only one who had not bet, because I was messaging Zhang Peipei. Girl, hurry and offer incense. Once the incense arrived, I immediately bet 200 on survival. All the gods thought I would die. Then I will prove I can live. If I survive, I get both the chance and a huge payout of incense power. I put a lollipop in my mouth and strode forward. Take the risk and turn nothing into gold. When I stepped out of the vortex, I saw a vast snowy field. And far away, a ragged young boy walked toward me step by step. But when I raised my guard, he passed straight through me, as if I did not exist. Father, mother, wait for me. I found food. Wait for me, the boy kept walking. And I could not affect anything. Nor did I know what this trial was. So I silently followed him. After walking for who knew how long, I finally saw a faint firelight ahead. It looked like a village. Just as I thought we could finally warm up, the boy collapsed to the ground. He could no longer hold on, yet in his fading mind, he still wanted to bring the food home. I thought he would die there, but on the edge of freezing to death, the boy began to pray. Honored goddess of snowy night, I offer my life and soul to become your most loyal believer. Please grant your grace. Then a miracle truly happened. Snowflakes began gathering in the sky and formed a beautiful woman. She gently waved her hand, and life returned to the boy. He rose and knelt. Honored goddess of snowy night, you finally appeared. The goddess said nothing, but raised her hand again. A blood-red eyeball floated in the air. Dear believer, swallow this, and I will give your village food and light. But you will become a monster of the night. Are you willing? I am. Whether I live does not matter. As long as my family, my younger siblings can live, I will do anything. Then without hesitation, he grabbed the evil eye and swallowed it. The goddess nodded in satisfaction. You have 30 minutes. Go say goodbye to your family. After saying that, the blood moon goddess left, leaving the boy overjoyed. He quickly carried the goddess's food toward the village, not noticing at all his body turning black and swelling until half an hour later. He reached the village entrance. He stopped and shouted, I am back. I brought food back. Soon a crowd gathered at the entrance. The boy handed them the food, while looking around, confusion showing on his face. Why did my parents not come out? The moment he said this, The villagers holding food all changed their expressions. Then the village chief stepped out. His face was greasy and meat still clung to his mouth. "Erwa, good that you are back. Why not sit at my house first?" "No, chief, I want to go home." Everyone's face changed at those words. Even the chief looked uneasy, but the boy missed home too much, and he only had 30 minutes left. So he ran straight home. But when he pushed open his own door, his pupils widened as he froze. Even I stared with wide eyes. The scene was pure hell. The whole house was a mess. He could not believe it. His breathing grew heavy, and black smoke rose from him. He had become a night fiend. But what shocked me more was that my senses suddenly became real. Damn, are you serious? Not this kind of opening. I was standing right beside the boy. His blood-red eyes locked onto me, and his huge fist smashed toward me. I raised the paralyzing blade to block, but after a loud crash, I flew back and slammed hard into the wall. Oh my god, I did not eat your family. Why so fierce? The night fiend the boy became was far bigger than the others. No wonder the gods thought I would die. This difficulty was not something normal people could face, so I turned and ran, only slowing after hundreds of meters. But the night fiend did not chase me. It rushed toward the village entrance in rage. I finally breathed out, thinking I could hide and survive, not knowing a greater crisis awaited me. In my sight, the night fiend grabbed someone and tore them in half. Then on my side, an unimaginable pain struck me, forcing me to one knee. I knew it could not be that simple. So this was the trap. Unless I was wrong. My life was now tied to the villagers. If everyone in the village died, then I would die too, meaning I had to protect these beast-like villagers and face that terrifying night fiend. Just as the chief was about to be eaten, I flashed over and cut the fiend's wrist, saving that beastly chief. If you do not want to die, get far away. But facing the night fiend's attacks, I was beaten back again and again. With no choice, I activated life burning. Power instantly swept through my body. When I slashed again, its arm was cut in two. Then without the slightest pause, I swung twice more and cut off one arm and one lower leg. It lost balance and fell. But just as I prepared the final blow, a violent nausea surged up. Damn, why did the backlash come so fast? The nausea pinned me in place. It would take 5 minutes to move again. But the fiend crawled with one arm. If it reached me, I would surely die. But right then, the villagers who had fled all returned, even holding crude knives. They rushed greedily toward the fallen fiend. Such a big body. We'll feed this old man for a while. The wounded night fiend, under their group attack, had no chance to fight back, and was finally cut into pieces. Watching it made me sick. If not for the trial rules, linking me to the villagers, I would cut them down to avenge the boy. But as I sighed, something strange happened. Those night fiend pieces began giving off a tempting aroma. The villagers shouted to eat it at once. Even I started drooling. So I quickly ate a lollipop. The magic lollipop could resist some illusions as it melted in my mouth. I broke free from the aroma, and a guess appeared in my mind. But before I could think deeper, the villagers ahead changed. After eating the meat, all became night fiends. Oh my god. In a blink, it was a night fiend army. Even if life burning had no backlash, I could not clear this. I squatted there in despair, thinking the boy must have felt this way too. Despair, then I suddenly realized something. I seemed to know how to clear this realm. Countless night fiends rushed at me, but I did not move. Instead I knelt and clasped my hands. Honored goddess of snowy night, I offer my life and soul to become your loyal believer. Please grant your grace. Just as the night fiend claws were about to touch me, the entire space froze. Then snow swirled wildly, and a beautiful woman appeared ahead. Outsider, why have you called me? Goddess, please save me. I will become your most loyal believer. Mortal, your devotion moved me. Pass the question I set, and I will grant grace to help you through this. As she spoke, she raised her hand, and words appeared in the air. Suppose a deadly plague will hit your town, but you hold a special power. Sacrificing 100 willing townspeople can create an antidote and save countless lives. What would you choose? Damn, is this the trolley problem? No choice is truly right. But if I must choose, then I choose not to save them. The goddess did not speak, but raised her hand again. Before you are two worlds. One is peaceful and prosperous, but in that world, all life loses its sense of death. They will not fear death. Cherish life. Death becomes ordinary. The other world is full of war and suffering, but life there knows death's meaning. Every life fights hard and treasures every moment alive. Now choose one world and become its guardian. What will you choose? I choose neither. What does it matter to me? She froze after hearing my answer, but soon looked expectant. Your answer surprised me. I am very satisfied. Then she waved and gave me an eyeball. Just like the boy's earlier one. Swallow it and become my believer. I reached out with full anticipation. So this is the power to save me. It really is. Disgusting. Right before touching the eyeball, my face changed. Then I calmly ate another lollipop. Called you goddess twice and you got cocky. This was my second lollipop. The more I ate, the stronger it worked. The goddess before me blurred and finally became the boy. Just as I had guessed. This whole realm was only an illusion to choose a vessel. If I swallowed the eyeball, the boy would take my body and be reborn. Seeing his plot exposed, the boy furiously lunged at me. Just a lonely little ghost. You think I fear you? I switched to the Peachwood sword and slashed at him. Peachwood counters ghosts perfectly. In just a few exchanges, his body began turning faint, then vanished from this world. But to my surprise, golden mist appeared after he faded. Green mist rewards were already rich, so golden mist must be insane. I hurried to loot it. There were over 10 blue ice crystals and 1 plain copper coin. Those blue crystals were the true fire I needed. Now I could craft the beheading saber. But what thrilled me more was that plain copper coin. Divine item, Jing Banliang can replace 1 death. Damn, that is a revive coin. Worthy of golden mist. But after I stored the crystals and coin, I found 2 eyeballs underneath. Why this disgusting thing again? I was about to throw them away, but the moment my hand touched them, information rushed into my mind. Divine material, disaster eyes, can intimidate Night Fiends and briefly turn you into their king. With no side effects, damn. They are good stuff. Just as I happily put them away, a private message reached my mind. Master, someone is attacking our shrine. Inside the shrine, Zheng Peipei was frantic. She told me the ones attacking outside were Long Outyen and his men. Rage burned through me. I knew I could not delay. And right then, a gate of light appeared before me. I stepped in without hesitation. When I opened my eyes, I was back in the dark forest. So I rushed straight toward the shrine. Even a level 3 door could not hold that many attackers. And at the shrine, just as expected, Long Outyen struck hard with a sickle and a 9 appeared on the gate. With only 100 durability, it could not take his attacks. Soon only 10 durability remained. Long Outyen raised his sickle excitedly. Break for me, but next second, there was no sound of the door breaking. Only a weapon hitting the ground. Along with Long Outyen's scream, he clutched his severed arm and stared forward in fear. Yes, I had returned. While Long Outyen attacked with all his strength, I rushed in and cut off his hand. Long Outyen, you are playing with fire. But Long Outyen did not care. He thought his physique over 30. Only lost because of my sneak attack. Brat! I will show you my real power. But he did not know. My physique was already over 100. Before he reached me, I split him in half. And I did not spare his followers either. In moments, all were killed. Then I piled their bodies together, took a photo and sent it to the believer chat. Long Outyen and his men are dead. Anyone who still targets my shrine will end up like this. After that, I knocked on the gate. Hey, it is over, open up. You really scared me to death. Without you, how could I live? Am I not fine? 2.5 minutes later, while Zheng Peipei and I were moving bodies into the shrine, a wisp of black mist slipped from Long Outyen's corpse and fled away with endless hatred. Zheng Peipei and I knew nothing and kept carrying bodies inside. After all, so many corpses were great food for the idol, and raising the idol's power would give us more rewards. In the chosen land, only 2 days remained to clear it. I had to make everything perfect. No one knew what the final 2 nights would bring, but I never expected. When the 3rd night began, everyone received major news. A special situation has occurred. In this round, 1 veteran believer will enter this trial and stay for 2 hours. 2 hours is enough to harvest. Then, artist Wallong joined the chat, appeared in the group. Then, he sent a message in the believer chat. I am a veteran who cleared before. I know an escape altar. Everyone gather on the mountain. I will take everyone out. Once this message appeared, everyone grew excited, as if they had found hope. Boss, carry us. Boss is righteous. Boss, you are my god. But none of them knew. In front of the chat panel, Wolong's smile was wicked. If I could not see the god chat, I might have believed it too. Heh, Wolong is truly rotten. There is no escape altar at all. Wants to gather those believers and harvest a wave of experience. Seeing this, cold sweat ran down my back, but a thought arose. A believer from 3 rounds of trials must have plenty of loot. Since you want to play, then I will play with you. Perfect time to test these 2 beheading sabers and the disaster eyes as the Night Fiend King. 1 hour later, many believers had gathered on the mountain, while Wolong kept fooling them. Everyone, gather near me. When more arrive, I will take you out. Soon there were more people, and Wolong smiled with excitement. His hand even moved toward his peachwood sword. My time is short, so let the harvest begin. Then he released 3 bloody sword waves, and many believers fell instantly. The others panicked and fled. But Wolong had no plan to spare them. He chased them down one by one, constantly absorbing their blood to raise his physique. But as he prepared to keep killing, he suddenly saw a huge figure ahead. Yes, it was me using the disaster eyes as the Night Fiend King, holding 2 beheading sabers. Without a word, I slashed at Wolong and successfully cut off one of his arms. As a veteran of 3 trials, Wolong was sharp and instantly fled with all he had. He used some strange footwork and I could not catch him at once. But now, my transformation had only 1 minute left and he was a high-level believer. Who knew what items he had? I had to end it fast, so I made a major decision and threw one of my sabers straight at him. Maybe luck was on my side. Wolong was split in half by it and turned into pale green mist. Everything he had became my loot, and my transformation ended right then. I quickly stored the loot in the ring, then carried both sabers down the mountain. There was still half the night until dawn. As the strongest fighter here, I decided to hunt Night Fiends and prepare for the final hard night. But I did not expect something strange to happen while hunting. At first, while killing a Night Fiend, I also saved a young boy. But to my surprise, when he heard I was leveling by hunting, he said he knew a cave with many Night Fiends inside. So with curiosity, I followed him to that cave. And sure enough, there was a group inside. But what puzzled me was how strangely they moved. When I arrived, they did not attack at once. Instead, they stood back to back, as if protecting something. Only when I tried to approach, did the lead fiend lunge at me. I dodged it once and swung back with 1 slash, cutting off 1 arm. Its painful scream made the others rush at me too. But I felt no fear and gripped my saber tight, weaving through the Night Fiends. In just a moment, I chopped them into pieces, and countless rewards fell. But I did not rush to collect them. My eyes stayed fixed ahead, because 1 Night Fiend still stood there. So I swung hard again. But strangely, even until it was killed, it never moved an inch, still guarding what was behind it. Once the mist cleared, I saw a massive female Night Fiend with a swollen belly. Before I could react, her sharp claws grabbed at me, so fast I could not dodge. So I raised both sabers to block, then quickly pulled away. But to my surprise, the female fiend was not only fast, her defense was terrifying. After 2 hard slashes, I only left shallow wounds. So I tossed 1 saber aside and focused all force into one, finally cutting off her calf. Then I leapt high, raised the saber overhead, and split her in 2. Right then, a pitch-black baby Night Fiend crawled out of her belly. Seeing this, I did not hesitate. I ended its life with 1 slash. But to my surprise, after the little fiend vanished, silver mist appeared. A piece of armor floated in midair. Divine item, golden armor, reduces damage by 30%. I put it on right away, not knowing a greater crisis awaited me. Then I sent all the loot to Zhang Peipei and continued hunting to level up. Only after reaching Advanced Believer did I stop clearing fiends and return. But on my way back, something major happened in the God chat. How did Jin Tiao kill the Night Fiend King and wipe out every fiend on 3 maps? There are still hundreds of survivors this round. How do we explain this to the upper god? In the end, the group owner Gue Dao Run made a cruel decision. He would send the boss, Black General from the next map, to slaughter the survivors of this trial. Hearing this, I rushed back faster. Looking at the mountain of supplies, I immediately had a plan. After picking out useful items, I traded the rest for talisman paper and glutinous rice because according to the god chat, this black general was far stronger than fiends, so I had to prepare fast. Then, I stored all the talisman paper in the ring, gave the rice to Zhang Peipei, and walked to the idol. Ready to boost physique again, but when I switched to the idol view, the scene stunned me. My incense power had reached 1700. The bet from the Blood Moon trial paid this much. Heaven is helping me. Then I spent 1000 incense power, all on physique boosts. 5 minutes later, the light faded. Zhang Peipei and I had gained over 300 physique. Combined with the last boost, I reached body refinement stage 4. At the same time, the sky darkened. The blood moon rose again. The fourth night of the chosen land began. A strange shrine suddenly flickered, and a black general appeared inside. But I never expected. A stream of black chi entered its body. Then the black general roared fiercely. Out. Haha, after long Outyan's soul escaped. It lingered near his own shrine. But just now, his worshipped god, Gui Daoren, sent him a trade offer. As long as he possessed the Black General and spent the next 4 hours slaughtering survivors, he would be revived afterward. So, Long Outyan agreed without hesitation. With the Black General's power, this would be easy. And he could get revenge too, because this Black General was hard as iron and felt no pain from attacks. More importantly, normal attacks did nothing. Only Taoist weapons could hurt it. After he got used to the body, he leapt out of the shrine and began the fourth night's slaughter. What made it terrifying was that in just over an hour, over 100 believers were killed. When I saw the death count rising in the believer chat, I left the shrine with Zhang Peipei. To be safe, I planned to fight it with guerrilla tactics while still watching the god chat. Look, the Black General is hopping toward Jin Tiao. That kid is doomed this time. He probably does not know it is blind and tracks people by aura. After using a low-grade body technique, his faint aura has become the most special one here. Before long, the Black General will catch him. After reading the chat, my face turned serious. According to the god chat, the Black General was nearby. I took out 2 blueprints, then looked at Zhang Peipei. Peipei, get ready to run. But before I finished, a black figure burst from the woods. Its glowing eyes locked onto us at once. I grabbed Zhang Peipei and ran. But the Black General was too fast, crashing through the forest without stopping. As I ran, I threw fire talismans back, barely slowing it down. But soon, trouble came again. The Black General grinned strangely, snapped off one of its fingers, and hurled it at me. Hearing the sharp rush of wind, I dodged by instinct, but still failed to avoid the finger. It cut a long bloody wound on my shoulder. I quickly threw all my fire talismans at it. Come on. Take a big one. Then, flames shot up and swallowed it. I hurried away with Zhang Peipei, but as we fled, my face worsened. My vision grew blurry. I knew the corpse poison had entered me, so we hid in an empty shrine. And Zhang Peipei poured rice on my wound, which helped a little. Luckily, I watched old zombie movies and prepared lots of rice. After 7 or 8 bags, the poison was mostly cleared. But before I could rest, the Black General found us again. Only 10 minutes remained before the trial ended. I had to hold on, gripping the beheading saber tight. As the Black General charged, I dodged sideways, then took the chance to stick a suppression talisman on its arm. When its arm froze, I pulled out a level 5 explosive talisman and stuck it onto its body, but as I tried to flee, it grabbed me. Only minutes were left before the trial ended, and Long Outyan inside knew he could not kill me quickly, so he held me tight, trying to die with me. Go to hell. The explosive talisman was about to blow, so I threw the storage ring to Zhang Peipei. Run, do not mind me. But Zhang Peipei ran toward me. Master, I cannot leave you. Seeing she would not give up, I used the slave talisman's control to force her body to turn around and run far away. Long Outyan inside the Black General saw this. You are more loyal than I thought. Too bad you die here. But I looked at him with a mocking smile. Really, are you sure? Long Outyan froze. Before he could think, the level 5 talisman exploded, swallowing both of us in fire. When everything ended, only a 100-meter crater remained, but at its center, an ancient copper coin shone brightly. Then the coin cracked apart, and my figure appeared from thin air. I slowly opened my eyes. This coin is amazing. But before I could react, Jung Pei threw herself into my arms. Come on, let us go home. I will give you a whole bunch of golden babies,